All right, Mr. Boyde, let's come back to you and maybe leave the issue of the delimiting and delineation. You just decided to stay safe on this one, that you obey the court judgment from the highest courts in the land. But let's go on to a level of preparations ahead of the Edo election. Let's begin from there first. I had a conversation yesterday with CSO representative, and they are saying that what they envisage, there may be lower, turnout of voter than the previous years. Because last time the election held, I can remember clearly that about just 10% of the entire population of Edo State came out to decide who becomes their governor. Are you concerned about this as an electoral umpire?
Yes, of course. The Commission is always concerned about the turnout at any point the Commission conducts an election. But on the Commission part, the Commission is doing its best. The voter education department is doing its best to ensure that information that is needed gets to the electorate to ensure that they turn up on the day of election. So we are doing our best. And just like I said earlier, because INEC is concerned each time election is held, when we have low turnout, we're also concerned. And at any point the Commission is conducting an election, the voter education department of the Commission is always on top of the game to ensure that information gets to the electorate that will make them go out on the day of election to vote for the candidate of their choice.
All right, Mr. Boyde, one of the major parts of any electoral process, as we saw in 2023, is the transparency in the process. I'm happy you're the Deputy Director, ICT of INEC. So walk us through what is expected. We understand that some of the machines that were destroyed by the flood have been recovered. So are we following strictly some of the things we've had in the past, that electronic will vote with the BVAS, and we'll have the IREV up and running, and we'll see result real time? I want us to just walk us through that process and what we should be expecting, because our eyes and ears will be very strong on this election.
Let me correct one impression. We are not voting with the BVAS. We are doing accreditation with the BVAS. The BVAS is deployed to accredit voters on the day of election before they are allowed to cast their vote. And again, the BVAS will also be used to upload the result at that level. INEC referred to that result form as Form EC8A. That BVAS is used to capture that result after the poll, after the presiding officer has sorted, counted, and announced the result for a particular polling unit. The result is entered onto that form, the result sheet, Form EC8A. After you endorse the result, the polling agent signs on that result, then the BVAS device is also used to capture that signed and the endorsed result, and is uploaded to the HiRev. Again, I like to say here that the HiRev is not a collation system. It does not collate result. The HiRev is there to show the electorate that INEC is transparent in what it's doing. It's just for people, the public, to view the result of the election for a particular polling unit on the day.
I understand perfectly how it works. Maybe I mixed up my words. We've been part of the electoral process for a while, so we understand the entire process. We're talking about integrity of the process this time. So you've mentioned, maybe you explain further what you mean by it's not a collation system, it's just for people to see. And that people to see is almost as important as any other thing as far as elections are concerned, because that was a big deal in the last presidential election.
you want to draw me back to the presidential election, but I think the commission had since released a report on that election.
No, my question is, Mr. Boyd, my question is, are we going to be seeing the results real time?
Of course.
That's what I mean.
As soon as elections are over in all the polling units, and the presiding officer did what I just narrated earlier, the next thing is for the presiding officer to take the photo or to capture the photo of that form and transmit to the high ref. If that polling unit, maybe that location is a blind spot, maybe there is no network for any particular network provider, then the system is designed. As soon as you leave that location and you are moving to the collation center, anywhere there is network, even before you get to the collation center, the system transmits the result to the high ref. And as soon as the result gets to the high ref, then it's there for the electorate to see the result. So as soon as the result is captured on that day, it's uploaded to the high ref for people to see.
You know, the reason I ask questions that look simple is because the trust quotient and our trust for processes is quite low, and you cannot blame Nigerians. So they will ask even the simplest of questions, and that's why we're here to ask on their behalf. But what is INEC doing to check some of the things we saw in Kogi, for instance, where we saw pre-filled results? And thank God alarm was raised, and well, we haven't seen much in terms of prosecution and how that played out. Some of the malpractices that could either be carried out by the commission, some of the mischievous commission element, because we have them. We've seen them before, and the commission, I know, has spoken strongly about it. What other stronger action should we be expecting for any form of unlawfulness from anyone as far as the commission is concerned in this process?
The commission does not support any staff, either ad hoc or its permanent staff, doing the wrong thing on the day of election. You know that when the issue of Kogi was raised on the day of that election, during the governorship election in Kogi, it was on the news what the commission did. Those who were, even though it may not be there, but that incident was investigated, and the commission did the needful. What was supposed to be done, commission did. And again, we learn from every election. Why? Because the commission is a learning organization. We will learn from on the future election. So what happened in Kogi about the pre-fill result, I don't think you will see such in the upcoming election in Edo and Ondo.
Well, Mr. Boyde, there's a lot we know that can happen and that may happen, but we don't have the luxury of time to ask you how you will intervene. Maybe some other conversation, some other day, we'll let you know what those things are, because these things will likely or may likely happen. Mr. Lawrence Bayode, Deputy Director, ICT, INEC, thank you so much, sir, for coming on the program. And that's it on the program. Thank you so much for your time. And of course, your usual company, Jeffrey Uzoma. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.